In this video,
room tour real quick. Hello everyone, my name is Anna and today I'm trying my very first vlog. I was born in Kazakhstan. Actually, that time it was USSR. Anyway, this channel will be about Russian language, about Russian culture, and a little bit of history about moving to Russia. Also, it will be about my home country, about my motherland, Kazakhstan. I will show you the capital of Kazakhstan. It calls Astana. It's my city where I was born. Today's vlog will be having two parts. The first one will be about my dog getting vaccine, about my area. I live on the left side of Astana. It's a modern new area, a little fancy. The right side is an old city. It looks cozy, reminds my childhood because I was raised there. I like it very much too. Then I will meet with my cousin. He is moving to Russia for good. And the next part of this vlog will be about my trip to Karaganda.
Good morning. The first thing you should know if you are traveling to Russia or Kazakhstan with a dog, the rules are the same. Your dog needs a rabies vaccine once a year. In the US, this vaccine is usually required every 3 years, but for Russia, it must be within 1 year. We are planning to go to Russia this year. Misha needs his shot. Keep in mind, the vaccine must be done at least 21 days before crossing the border. To be honest, no one ever checked Misha's vaccine when we traveled, but we were going by land, not by plane, and in my passport says I'm Russian. I think that helped me a little. Walking is always better with a drink in your hand, right? So we stopped by my favorite coffee shop. In the US, you cross when the light turns white, usually a walking figure, but in former Soviet countries, we cross on green. Up ahead, you can see some residential buildings, business and comfort class. As you can tell, Astana is still growing fast. New buildings are everywhere. I really like the entrance to this restaurant. It's made in a traditional Kazakh style, shaped like an ancient nomadic home called a yurt.
Нет.
The vaccine cost about $30. After that, we went to the Central Park, which has existed since the city was founded. In Kazakhstan, you must carry your dog in a carrier when you travel by bus or taxi. In Russia, a carrier is required in the metro. In taxis and buses, no one has ever asked me for one. I know that after a vaccine it's better to stay home so the dog can rest, but I will try to make sure Misha, that's my dog name, doesn't walk too much, and after the meeting I will go straight home. We are done with the vaccine and now we are waiting for our cousin. We are sitting here by the river. It's so nice to be here. This is my favorite place from childhood. Ты прям в 3 соснах заблудился. Ты прям в 3 соснах заблудился.
Не понял? Опять заблудился в натуре. Что?
Titanic. My cousin Victor comes from a small village. He is very hard-working guy. He can work from morning till night without days off. So he found a welding job in Tumen. where they promise him a salary 3 times higher. In the old city center on the right bank, there are still buildings in the Russian classical style, built by merchants and settlers during the active development of the steppe in the late 19th century. Some of them were used as residential houses, shops, or warehouses. After the revolution during the Soviet period, they were converted into apartments, institutions, or storage. Some of these buildings have survived to this day. I love walking here and I'm happy to show you these houses. This is a real plot. I deleted the first video because some people thought I was promoting the Soviet Union. They left negative comments, but believe me, I don't want to go back to the USSR. I enjoy all the freedom and benefits that independent Kazakhstan has given me. At the same time, I'm grateful for some things I grew up with, like free healthcare, free education, and basic infrastructure. I know history is complicated and everyone sees it differently. Also, my family suffered because of the USSR. My great-grandfather was taken from his big 2-story house and brought to the Karaganda region. He had to work double shifts, life was very hard, they even lost some children. I love history, and for me, this is nostalgia, but not for the Soviet Union, but for my family.
Здравствуйте, а у меня переноска. А я же указала там, да?
Да, нормально все. Вы можете с той стороны сесть?
Нет, нам удобно, не переживайте.
Вот так.
Спасибо.
Пожалуйста.
Все, с Богом, поехали.
Поехали.
It takes 5 hours to get to Karaganda by commuter train. Since our country is the 9th largest in the world by area, that's considered not far from Astana. I love trains. Sometimes I travel somewhere just for the sake of being on a train. As a child, I dreamed of living at a train station, simply because trains were associated for me with happiness and trips to my grandmother's village. Fortunately, some dreams are not meant to come true. This is our old train station. It was built in 1931 during the Soviet era, which is why it still has that Soviet vibe. We also have a new station, large, luxurious, and modern, but the old one feels more familiar and cozy to me. While I'm waiting for my train, I will show you around a little. So, why did I come to Karaganda? Well, you saw the beginning of this video. Yesterday, my neighbor followed me just because I went outside with my dog. He thinks I should stay at home with Misha. Please, don't judge him. Some people believe dogs are unclean. It's not anyone's fault that we grew up with different traditions. Still, I felt stressed and needed a change, especially because I'm renovating my apartment. And I'm doing it myself. Imagine living in a place with all your stuff and at the same time you're fixing the walls, painting, making a mess. On top of that, I work from home. On weekends, I try to write my book or make content, but it doesn't always work out. And in my free time, I keep working on the renovation. Astana is a beautiful and clean city, but sometimes I want to go somewhere simpler, somewhere that feels like the place I grew up in.
Let me do a little of a room tour real quick. Here is the entrance area. I don't have any bag, just Misha has. bathroom, a shower. It's a cute apartment, but it's on the 5th floor. Here is another. I'm not a vlogger yet, but I need to get used to it. Okay, nice. They have shampoo. They have, what is it? Oh, just for a good smell. Perfume. I don't know how it calls. Oh, nice. Мозаика. A home is made of love. Here is the kitchen area and bedroom, living room. A small sofa. They called this apartment like pop art studio, matryoshka. The rules of happiness. They have 2 windows. It calls Hrushevka probably. They have balcony, TV area, air conditioner. I missed the Hrushevka balconies. Am I too quick when show something? Because I didn't get used to do vlogs. It's already 8 p.m. Hello. Marilyn Monroe. And here they have pretty much everything. I will cook for Misha a little bit later. Now I need to go find some food.
So I was looking for shashlik. Eating meat at night is always a good idea. I was really hungry that day because I haven't eaten anything that day. I like this decoration. Telephone. Here you can see menu. This is shashlik with onion and a homemade wine. The wine was delicious. As always, Misha makes friends faster than me. He is my superstar.
Misha and I already got home. I took some meal with me for the breakfast tomorrow. This is not what you want to do when you travel.
After dinner and a shower, I decided to watch some retro movie. There is no regular TV in the apartment, but there is a smart TV. It seems many guests have left their accounts logged in, so you can accidentally see what they watch. It looks like a Russian guest stayed here before me. Not surprising, since many Russians have moved to Karaganda after the recent events in the world. Soviet architecture in Karaganda. To some, it might look bleak or even depressing, but for me, the mix of greenery and these buildings feels like a return to my childhood. There is a certain coziness in it. Karaganda itself was built almost entirely during the Soviet era. It grew rapidly in the 1930s as a coal mining center. And many of these buildings you see today were constructed for workers and their families. Wide streets, large courtyards, and simple but sturdy apartment blocks were typical of that time. Everything you see in this video was shaped by that era, a place built for function, but which over time has gained its own charm. I know that from a design perspective, these buildings aren't considered beautiful, but at that time the goal was to build millions of homes and entire new cities all at once. I have been to many coffee shops in Astana, but I have never seen one prepare a bowl of water for dogs. Big respect for that. Before starting my day, I want to fuel up with a good cup of coffee. And doing it in such an atmosphere makes it twice as enjoyable.
Здравствуйте, доброе утро. Как у вас здесь клево.
In Karaganda, I have a friend, and I came to surprise her. Today, I want to surprise her at a handmade festival. For now, I need to buy her a small gift, and it will be a pumpkin-shaped salt shaker. I actually love pumpkins.
Здрасте. Ух ты, как классно. Привет! Ничего себе! Я так рада тебя видеть. Какая прелесть! Спасибо. Тем более скоро осень. Спасибо, дай поцелуй.